And benvenuti, fellas and bellas, all over the world to the Napoli Rant return. But this time we have a very, very special co host. It is Rocco Rispo joining the Napoli Rant. Officially, you have joined us, Napoli Rant, with Raff and Rocc. How are you doing, Napoli fans? Rocco, say hello to everybody.
What's up, guys? Ciao tutti. Feel great to be here, and I just want to say thank you very much to Raf Pizzato for being on board, and he's still gonna be with us. He's still part of the show. He's gonna be behind the scenes, but again, thank you to Raf for I guess handing over the
Yes,
torch.
passing the torch to the young generation of Napoli supporters. This is still the Napoli rant. We are Raff and Rocc, and we have a lot to talk about. Plus, first of all, let's get it right to it. We're gonna talk about the Chelsea loss and how we're out of the Champions League. We are going to talk about Napoli then beating Fiorentina and everything with Antonio Vergara, all the injuries, all of the issues, the Conte discussion, the thin squad, all that. And then we're going to have a really special segment today, and it's called Ball with Paul. Yes, Paolo Rispo is going to join us and talk about a brand new signing that we did a little bit of research on today. So this is what we're going to be doing, and I hope everybody is very entertained by us, and I hope everybody really kind of like gravitates back to the Napoli rant because we've been gone for way too long, and here we are talking about what's current in the Napoli landscape. Everybody knows from the live Instagram live that we put out, I had basically said that while I want Napoli to beat Chelsea and I want them to win and show a good performance, it wouldn't be the end of the world for them to be out of Europe. And what happens? Napoli are out of Europe. Napoli lose to Chelsea 3-2 at the Maradona. It's the first loss at home since late 2024. Napoli spent all of 2025 without losing at the Maradona, and finally lose their first match in 14 or 15 months at home. They are out of the Champions League, finishing in 30th. There's a lot to unpack with that. So, Rocco, let's get started. Um, it was the Antonio Vergara come out, right? And the youngster from Frata Minore,
Let's
right?
let's say breakout. It was the Antonio
Breakout,
Vergara breakout.
breakout, the come out, the breakout, whatever you want to call it. Um, and then we went down 1-0 to a penalty that was given up on a free kick in the first half, early, right, 17th minute. Juan Jesus handling the ball in the wall. Felt a little bad for him, but it was the right call. And who was it that took the penalty, Rocco, for Chelsea? Was it Juan?
Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo Fernandez takes the penalty, gets the goal. We go down early, but some brilliance by Vergara and another brilliant sequence. Spinazzola has the ball. The run by was it Oliveira who made the
Yeah.
run to assist Rasmus Højlund. Perfect sequence, made it 2-1. Go into the half. We're very excited about Napoli and the fact that they are they sat in 20th place at one point. We were good to go. And then what happens? We have to rely on our bench, which was razor thin. And when I say razor thin, I mean it consisted of two keepers, which were Contini and Ferrante. Ferrante being from the but he's on our squad, Ferrante. from the Primavera, but it's his first time up to the squad this season. And we had Lukaku, Gutierrez, and Bukama. That's it. And then we had two guys from the who was it? Di Chiara and I don't even remember who else it was. I couldn't even tell you. But we had to use those subs, and it proved costly. Chelsea come back with a wonder strike by João Pedro, and then just capitulated with a goal. And I forgot who scored the third goal.
Joao Pedro also
Was it
scores
João
again
Pedro again? Yeah.
on a fast
So
break.
we lose 3-2. We end up 30th in the Champions League league phase. Rocco, give me your thoughts on the loss. Give me your thoughts on exiting the Champions League. And what do you think was the reason for it?
We all know the reason. I don't know what else there is to say besides injury crisis. Two words can describe our season so far, and it's injury crisis. Um, I thought we actually played really well against Chelsea. I thought we were the better team until the second Joao Pedro goal. The penalty, you could discuss both sides. I think the referee got it right, but I think there's also a strong case that he got it wrong. Personally, I think he got it right, but it can come down to opinion. Um, and Vergara, I mean, he scored that goal, but he was also just class in general. He's a class player who, when we talk about Fiorentina, he also played really well. So that's, I guess, been a bright spot in a pretty gloomy season so far. I don't mind losing. I didn't mind losing. I went in with the mentality of not minding losing, but when the game started and got going, and especially considering how well we played, I was bummed that we lost. I ended up being upset that we lost when I went into it be with the mentality of don't get upset if we lose. Which I guess sums up Napoli. Even when you expect to be upset, they still make you upset. Um, yeah, we played really well, and it's a shame that we did lose. But I honestly think it's the best result for our Scudetto chances. And I think winning a back-to-back Scudetto would maybe make the outside world take us a little more seriously. So, if getting out of the Champions League means we even have a shot at another Scudetto, so be it.
Oh, I agree with that. The problem is we entered this weekend -9, so there's a lot
Mhm.
of doubters about that, uh, we are very razor thin when it comes to depth right now. We couldn't play people like Marianucci, who ended up getting loaned out to Torino. We couldn't play Mazzocchi because he's not in the squad. We couldn't play our new signing Giovanni because he's also not in the squad. He didn't, we acquired him just a couple weeks ago. I agree, Rocco. I agree that some people might uh, also feel like us being out of Europe is taking the next step would be to win in Europe, right? Like showing out in Europe. Conte always wanted to kind of put a nix on that stigma that he has that he can't win in Europe. And this season he's still getting a lot of crap for it. I really, really think that this year needs to be looked at as like one of those, okay, never mind, and honestly, when I think about it, Conte not being Conte, I wouldn't want to say he doesn't take it seriously. He wants to win every game. It's not like he doesn't want to win every game. But us not performing in the Champions League phase against teams like Eindhoven, Benfica, City, I mean, City you could make an argument for, but there were other teams that we drew, and it's like get the maximum potential from the squad. And I know we've been dealing with injuries all season long. And one can argue that we probably should have done better in the league phase before we got to Copenhagen, but the reality is, if you ask me, if we had at least half of our guys back, I mean, the injury list was a mile long. You can't convince me otherwise, uh, Vanya, Rachmani, Anguissa, Gilmore, De Bruyne, Neres, Politano. That's awful. That is awful when it comes to the depth. And if we had half those guys back in the squad, we would
I
have
mean,
held on. I'm
and that's
convinced we would have held on at least to beat Copenhagen, and we would be in a different position going into this. And even if we we had, put it this way, we didn't perform as good as I wanted to perform in the league phase before the Copenhagen match, but we still had an opportunity to qualify or to advance to the next round. And I feel like because of our injury list, we would have beaten Copenhagen. We would have at least had a result against Juventus, and we would have possibly beaten Chelsea. And we lost all those games, or we didn't, we didn't win all those games because and it showed towards the end of the match. We were just tired. We were outdone. And
absolutely.
I don't think that Conte takes the blame for that. There's a lot of these injuries weren't really, I mean, some of them were muscular, but some of them weren't, and we'll get to Di Lorenzo when we talk about Fiorentina, but I think he deserves a pass for this one. The
He does.
problem with the Scudetto comment you made is we're -9, and it's going to be difficult to recover that. But now also Inter didn't make the top 8. They have to play the playoff too, so they have more games. I think the only team we really have to kind of worry about, I mean, Inter keep winning too, but the only thing we do have to worry about is Milan not playing in a European competition. So
Are Juve? Where's Juve?
Juve are in the next round too. Juve are in the it's Inter, Juve, and Atalanta all qualified for the playoff knockout stage. Okay. So they all have matches coming up soon, while the top 8 have a bye, and the top 8 consists of 6 English teams.
Let's just hope those 3 teams all make the semifinals of the.
That's what I mean. Like last season, right?
Very possible.
Do you remember, Rocco, last season where I said I want Inter to go all the way? I want them to be in every competition towards the end. I wanted them to go to the Coppa Italia final. I wanted them to go to the Champions League final. I wanted them to be, slip in Serie A, but like I wanted them to be in it the whole way because for me it was most likely that they wouldn't win the Serie A if they were in every competition. They ended up crashing out of the Coppa Italia in the semifinal to was it Bologna, I think. And made it to the Champions League final, and that helped us a lot. It really did. 1 point is also razor thin margin. So it's 9 now. That's the thing, is it's 9 points. So it's gonna be difficult, but it's possible we get these guys back. I mean, we're getting people back. Anguissa is back early February. It's February 1st, everybody. At time of recording, Anguissa early February. Gilmore, Rachmani, and Vanya mid-February, and Politano mid-February. Neres is probably the one that's most worried. He had to have surgery late March, but De Bruyne should be back early March. So we're another month away from De Bruyne coming. Like, if we can somehow maintain this distance or keep winning games in the league, finally this week we have no midweek, right? It can happen, but honestly, being out of the Champions League has given a lot of pundits the ammo to say Napoli aren't a serious team yet. I mean, do you agree with that, or do you?
No, we're very much a serious team.
Okay,
I think Conte gets the pass. I think any manager in the world would get the pass for this Champions League fallout. You could, but at the same time, should we have lost 6-2 to PSV
no,
with the very
no,
minimal injuries? Should
no.
we have been dropping points to these little smaller teams?
Good point.
What was it? Galatasaray we lost. Do we play them?
No, it wasn't. It was wow, Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
We didn't
Yeah,
lose to them, but we didn't beat them.
we drew.
We drew.
And like it's but at the same time, so I know I still forget about it. I
It's
still
hard.
think
It's hard. It's hard to come up with the answer because you're
I
right.
think Conte gets the pass because, despite even all those drop points earlier on, we played well against Copenhagen, we played so well against Chelsea, and we really like even after the injury crisis, we were still playing well. And if we had all those players, we would have probably won. So I think Conte gets the pass. I think we get the pass, and I think we should still be considered a very much a serious team. And I think God forbid, you know, I think or what is it, God willing? I don't know, but if something that like nothing like this happens next season, I think we could be really back at it. We just got to qualify. We got to get top 4, which I don't see us having a problem doing. But no, I definitely think Conte gets the pass for this season.
I would really like to
It's
know. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, it would just be unfair and yeah, unfair and unjust to be you could joke about it, be like, "Oh, typical Conte." Oh, well. But I feel like if you're seriously looking at it and being like, adding on to the Conte stigma, it's nothing to do with him wanting to drop out of Europe for the league. It's we had less than 15 senior players in our squad. So, and Chelsea, I think I recorded it. I wish I could find it. If you Chelsea's sub list went from here, like down to the
Oh yeah,
floor, and
yeah.
ours was this thin. They had like 15 substitutes. We had 3. So
I mean, you can't really compete with a team that's bench is worth like 80 something million,
I
like
mean, I
like
mean
a 200
Chelsea,
million. Like
Chelsea have like 45 registered players. It's
yeah.
insane, and we have right as of now we have 15. It's what are you gonna do? I think
So
there's yeah.
yeah, so Oliveira was the best player in the game there. 2 assists. Vergara with his goal, of course. He that spin around and tap in was magic. I wouldn't even say tap in. It was a difficult shot. The setup for Hoyland's goal.
Hoyland.
Oliveira really came through there, and I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the team. I enjoyed the team as a whole. When you look back, though, where were guys like Vergara? Why did it take this catastrophic injuries, these amounts of catastrophic injuries to play guys like Vergara, Ambrosino? You know, what's that about? Like, why are we not? That's the question I think everybody has for Conte. Not, you know, did he crash out of Europe on purpose to go back to, to focus on the league? Not, hey, he can't do it in Europe. Is why is he not trying these guys out?
And I think that very thing could have been a contributing factor to these injuries. The uh lack of what's the word? Dang it.
Rotation?
Rotation, diversity, lack of diversity in the squad. It feels like it's the same 11 with the same 3-4 recycled subs every game. These players are going to get tired out, and I mean, if you sub the same 3 players every game and put the same 11 out every game, these youth players with potential, clearly we see that these players have potential. I mean, Vergara Elmas. I mean, we've known about Elmas, but like particularly Vergara, we're never. This is why I feel like this is why we have such a hard time developing youth talent, is because we recycle the same 15, 16 players week in, week out. And even when we're healthy and like we're not fit now, but even when we are fit, we don't. I feel like it happened with Zanoli and Zerbin, and you could say that they're not that good, but like
But
they
they were
really
never
get
given the right opportunity. Yeah,
were
I
they ever
agree.
given an opportunity? I think as far back as like since I've been a fan, the first like Wonder Boy that I was excited about, I can remember is Adam Unas. And
Mm.
I was so frustrated when we let him go because it we historically just do not do a good job giving the youth guys a chance. And I think Conte in particular is pretty bad at that. And I think
Right,
that is one of the biggest factors for
right.
the injury crisis this season. I think people absolutely have a right to be upset about that.
Well, something we don't have to be upset about is Napoli beating Fiorentina 2-1 at the Maradona just yesterday. Now this game was played on Saturday at noon, less than 3 days after the Champions League game. Conte had a lot to say about Napoli having to play so soon after the Champions League game. I don't ever really remember him complaining about fixtures and the timing of them, but here we are. He is saying things like, there's too many games, this and that. And honestly, it goes well with what Conte, like how he plays. He'd rather play one game a week. I know this. Um, but whatever. Napoli get the win. Vergara, once again, Alex Medet sends a long ball out. I think Medet's learning a thing or two from Vanya about like getting those long balls down there. But Hoyland does a really good job with a hold up to give Vergara the lane to take the ball down one-on-one against De Gea. Boom, right past him. 11th minute, first goal in Serie A. So then we doubled down with Gutierrez, who came in for the unfortunate injury to Di Lorenzo, which at first looked like,
Gutierrez started. Oliveira came on for Dilo.
oh, was that true?
Yes,
That
but
is true.
still,
You're right. Apologies, young Padawan. Gutierrez started the game. Okay, wonderful. So Gutierrez gets the goal. Nice strike, like a striker strike. Honestly, it was a very nice
winger.
goal.
Yeah,
And 2-0, cruising. It was looking really good. Fiorentina get one back in the 57th minute with Solomon. Is his first Serie A goal, I believe, with Fiorentina. They just picked him up. But Vergara got man of the match with a goal and an assist. Yeah, we had Giovanni for this one. He came in, Lukaku came in, and Oliveira came in. So once again though, very thin squad, and it does kind of like make me wonder, like Di Lorenzo getting injured and not Bukuma coming in. Was that? Do you think that Conte knew, okay, Di Lorenzo is more of a attacking, defender, even though he's in a back three. Let's put in Oliveira to kind of like keep Gutierrez where he is, and then Oliveira is very good in a back three, and honestly, so is Juan Jesus and Buongiorno. Buongiorno playing on the left. Better game from Buongiorno this time around. And yeah, Napoli get the win. I mean, even though Inter today beat Cremonese 2-0, we get a little bit of more of a breathing room for top four because, well, Juve did win 4-1 against whoever they played against. I forgot, Parma. And but Como got a 0-0. Nico Paz's penalty was saved in the 98th minute. Crazy. They got a pen. They could have kept pace with us. They were right behind us for this top four. Now it's us and Juve. I think. I mean, Como dropping points sets them back a little bit. But tell me how you felt about this one, because I mean, I know we watched it together a little bit, and it worked out very well. What do you? Oh no, we watched a Chelsea game, but you were watching while we were watching. We were in
Contact.
contact.
Yeah.
What
I
was
thought
your biggest takeaway from this one that we it is Fiorentina. They are struggling, but it's a quality side at the end of the day. These are not bums on the field. They're just not doing well. So how do you feel about all that?
yeah, my biggest takeaway is that I think this showed us what this showed us what we're capable of, and what we could be doing more if it weren't for all these injuries. We played very physical and very energetic, which I kind of question, because all these injuries, and playing as physical as we did, I don't know how much that's gonna help prevent those. I mean, but at the end of the day, we performed well, and that's what matters. And I think the biggest takeaway is that this is what we are capable of, and what we really can do. And I would like to see more. I would like to see more of the um the firepower, what is it, the passion, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
and specifically the creativity that we have we have lacked this. I mean, the creativity we showed against Chelsea and Fiorentina, I couldn't stop saying, where has this been? Where has this been the last month or so? Um, I think if we, I want to see more of the exact same in terms of creativity, and passion, and energy. Um, I thought we played really well. I don't have much negative to say besides we committed a lot of fouls. It's good to be passionate, but also some of our players got to cool down a little bit. Buongiorno, I'm looking at you. And yeah, and also
you have it out for
defensively,
Buongiorno, don't you, this year?
man, he's such a good player, and I was so excited when we signed him, and he was so good last season. But I don't know, something in him. It's like he he forgot common sense, and
Mm,
when to challenge, and what challenges to make. But
mm.
yeah,
Napoli almost. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, so all this to say that we performed really well against Fiorentina. We were the most creative we've been, and that we've pressed the most we've pressed in a long time. And if we want to be serious about a Scudetto this season, we need to play like this, and maybe even a little better, but like this.
There was also a sequence that could have made it 2-0, where there was like sort of like a scrum at the line. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's a lot of calls about how VAR missed the handball from, I want to say it was it was Pongracic, I think. I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
remember who it was in the box, but there was definitely a motion towards the ball while the ball was on the ground during that whole thing. Could have been another goal for us, but whatever. We get the win. Like I said, Vergara man of the match. Gutierrez was brilliant with his shot. McTominay was all over the place. But the big news, Di Lorenzo, man. The injury, that was scary. That was really scary, because as soon as I saw him hit the ground, I said, that's torn. And thankfully, news came out today that it's not a tear. It's not a rupture, put it that way. Dr. Carmine Guadagnano from Napoli Club Toronto was so quick to point out that a sprain essentially is a tear, which is true, but it's not a complete rupture. So he didn't rupture his tendon or his ligament, but the sprain is there. It's going to be about 4 to 6 weeks. He may or may not miss the Italian uh, qualifier for the World
Qualifiers.
Cup. But if they do qualify, he'll definitely be there for the World Cup. He's not done for the season. That's a good sign.
We're looking at 2 to 2.5 months or
Okay,
so.
but about a month and a half, I think. Month and a half. But would you be okay right now? Because I mean, listen, we have a whole week off. We have a whole week off. We don't have Coppa Italia this week. Coppa Italia is next week. So we have a rest coming. But what is the back line? Like, is it still the three? Is it with Buongiorno on the left, Juan Jesus in the middle, and is it with Oliveira on the right? Is
Absolutely.
that the move, or do we somehow get Bukuma in the groove here too? I don't know. What do you
No,
think?
I have it as Bonjour on the left, Juan Jesus in the middle, and Oliveira on the right. I'm
Okay,
absolutely fine with that because even after D'Lo went out and Oliveira came in, I thought Oliveira did his job well, and we were still sound. We might see less of his play from the Chelsea game. He might not
right.
be getting up and contributing in the attack as much, but obviously he's still a sound defender, and I like him in a three a lot actually.
Okay,
Left
okay,
left or right. I think he
okay.
can play left or right well. Yeah.
And you have been pretty high on Gutierrez. You and I speak all the time. You always saying Gutierrez can ball. Why isn't he playing? He came in and he did his thing. So let listen. This could be the starting 11 going forward right now. For the time being. The Mercato is still open for another few hours as of recording time. We'll talk to Paul in a few minutes about about our new signing that we are going to announce today, and there's also hope for Suleimana from Atalanta. There's a lot of talk about bringing him in at some point. But do you really think aside from well, let's talk about that with Paul. Vergara's breakout performance, I think. Which one would you say was the breakout? Because we said it was Chelsea, but we saw glimpses of brilliance from him before these games. Chelsea, he scored the goal he scored, and now the performance from the Fiorentina game was just A plus. But what would you say was the breakout?
So I think when it comes to having players on the radar, like especially in the Serie A, I think it's honestly easier for the rest of Italians are very like us as Italians are very like strict. Like when it comes to Serie A, like stars, like deeming someone as a star in the Serie A, or like and like us like Italian fans deeming someone as like a star, like worldwide star. We do it's harder for us to do that than the rest of the world. So basically what I'm trying to say is Vergara's performance against Chelsea put him on everyone's radar that doesn't follow Italian football
Yeah,
necessarily. But
yeah, I agree.
within the Serie A, within the Serie A community, he's been on the radar. He's been he's been on the radar as like a potential maybe he could break out, but his performance against Fiorentina I think solidified him as a breakout, and I don't know if I'm ready to consider him a first team guaranteed starter yet. I want to see if he can keep this up, and I want to see how well he can compete with Politano when he does come
Mm-hmm.
back.
Mm-hmm.
But at this rate, I mean, I think Fiorentina was the breakout game, and I think it's time to be like, okay, we really got a player here. Let's give him what he needs to succeed.
All right, everybody, we're back. We have a very special guest in a very special segment. Let's all welcome Paolo Rispo. What's up, Paulie?
What's up, Dad? What's up, Rocco?
What's up, dude?
All right, so ball with Paul. Here we are. So basically, what we're gonna do here for ball with Paul is we're gonna pick a topic every week or every time we decide we're gonna have Paulie on every now and again. This particular segment of Ball with Paul is focusing on our brand new signing
Very
from
excited.
from Sporting, Alisson Santos. Paul, we have revamped or however you call it.
Revamped is good.
Revamped is good, right? Our attack. We lost Noah Lang
Yeah.
earlier, and we have all these injuries, so we needed a little bit of help on either side. Alisson Santos, usually a left winger. You did a little bit of research on him after finding out that we got him. Tell me what you think about Alisson Santos.
He looks pretty good. He's very fast, very agile. He's very he's nice and like techie, or like good with the ball, and
Okay.
he really likes to move around with the ball, but he's also smart. He's also got like knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks like he'd be pretty fit for Napoli. It's hopefully
Cool.
he'll kind of fit in for the spot for Noah Lang, and maybe we can get our money back from Noah Lang, and we have Alisson Santos. So
Alisson Santos. Um, you are a FIFA kid. I mean, so is Rocco.
yeah, he's better than me.
EA 26.
hmm
We looked him up on EA 26. Tell me a little bit about his rating and his potential. You watched a simulation with him. What did you think of him?
So in EAFC 26, Alisson Santos is a 67 overall. um, but he he shows in real life a lot more than his FIFA rating. I feel like he could go up maybe to 70, but with Napoli, he's gonna shoot up. I think he's gonna probably make it to like a 77 overall eventually.
So
He'll
what
probably
gives you that
make
impression?
it to the 80s. He
What
looks
gives you that
very, very
impression?
high potential.
What gives you that impression?
He just looks very high potential. Like, he's young. He's
He is young.
very, very fast. He looks like he'd fit perfect with Napoli. I mean, that's
The
everything
high
you want
tempo,
from a new
right?
kid.
The Conte high
Um,
tempo, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
So from the FIFA experience, it looks like so he it looks like when I watched him, he kind of like would once he got the ball, if there was like a set piece going on, he'd kind of pass it back, kind of look and pass back, so and like kind of almost create the set pieces for
Mm-hmm.
the goals. And Sporting Sporting won the game of the simulation. It was 1-0. Oh my gosh, Alisson Santos kind of created the set piece for that game, and for to score the goal. It was a nice little ball roll into the middle of the box, and then he kind of passed it to the wing to um he kind of passed it to the wing to someone, and then he just shot near post. It was a very nice goal, I saw. But Alisson Santos kind of started the whole attack thing. So hopefully that'll be the kind of play style for him. He'll start our attacks, and
Okay.
he looks very promising from what I know.
Okay. I have another question for you, Paul, about Alisson Santos. With Sporting,
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like he got a lot of time this season. Do you think with the injuries he's going to see more time at Napoli, or
Oh
do you?
yeah, oh yeah. With all the injuries going on, I mean, David Nair, he could play on both right and left wing.
Okay,
With David Neres hurt and Noah
gone.
Lang is gone. He
And
looks like he's gonna
Politano
get a
hurt
lot more
too.
playing time.
Yeah.
He looks like he's gonna get a lot more playing time with Napoli. So hopefully he can kind of shine there. Yeah.
Let's hope. Rocco, you had a very interesting find about this kid. Um, he played in the last Champions League game against Athletic Bilbao. Tell us what happened with that.
So okay, so Sporting were borderline qualifying to making top eight. So for those who don't know, in the Champions League, there's 36 teams. It's a league phase. Each team plays 8 games. The top 8 teams automatically qualify for the round of 16, and then places 9 to 24, all those teams play. There's a draw to determine who they play, and they play in a playoff. Is it a 1 leg or 2 leg playoff?
It's 2 legs.
2 leg. So they play in a 2 leg playoff, and whoever wins advances to the round of 16. So these guys were like borderline playoffs to qualifying. They were so close to the top 8, and they were tied 2-2. Sporting were tied 2-2 to Athletic Bilbao, however you say it, Athletic Bilbao.
Athletic.
Yeah. And so it was 2-2 in the 94th minute, and this guy, for Sporting, Alisson Santos, scored the goal that propelled them into the top 8. And I mean, these guys now are up there with, oh my goodness, the top teams. I mean, Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Bayern, Juve.
No,
These
Juve
guys.
didn't make top 8.
Oh, not
We'll go over
Juve.
that.
Forgive me.
But I know what you mean. This kid coming in. So and another thing is he was a substitute. He was in the 87th minute, and this goal came in the 94th minute. Like you said, completely launched them into the top 8. So the problem is he doesn't have many. I mean, he's got in the league, he's got 18 matches, no goals, 2 assists. FootMob has him at an average of 6.56 rating. I'm guessing that he just didn't have any space on the team, and with a decimated Napoli, he could come in and help out. But Paulie, can you help us with coming up with what's better for him on the right or the left? Because right now we have injuries on both sides, obviously with Neres hurt and with Politano hurt, right? We're using Elmas as a makeshift. We're using a Vergara from the Primavera, essentially. So do you think Alisson Santos comes in for a Vergara or an Elmas when it comes to like playing, or maybe even like one of the midfielders? How do you feel about, like, what side do you think he should take over on this journey with Napoli?
So I think because of like the way that Vergara's playing lately, he's playing like a wonder kid. He's playing very good. I think for now they're gonna start Elmas because it's only been 2 games with him, like being really good. So they might put him on for Vergara a little bit. But if it's maybe you'll come on for Elmas and it'll be Vergara and Santos, and if that goes really well, that might stick. I think it's gonna be. I think for starters, for like the beginning, it's gonna be Elmas. It's gonna be Elmas on one side and Santos on the other side. But yeah.
So when I tell you that on next Saturday is Genoa Napoli, Genoa not doing too well, 23 points. Napoli should be able to win that game. Are you telling me that you're looking at a starting 11 similar to what we've seen, right? And Santos coming off the bench?
I think Santos, because he just signed with Napoli, I don't think he's starting. I think he might come on at the half, maybe a little bit after the half. But I honestly, that's my guess. I don't know who he's gonna come on for. It might be one of the two. Honestly, if I had to think, I think Antonio Conte would mix it up some games. You know what I mean? He might take him on for Elma, take him off for Elmas, put him on for put him on for Elmas, put him on for Vergara. He might do one of the two.
Right.
Well,
different games.
so from what I've gathered about this guy is he seems to be a very Neres-esque type, where he prefers the left, and he's probably better on the left, but he can very well play on the right too.
Oh yeah.
So I think if he were say he did one day break into the starting 11, he proves himself, or even when he comes on as a sub, I think he would play because so in the or not Neres, in the two midfield with it's Elmas and Vergara. Elmas is on the left and Vergara's on the right. So I would imagine he'll, I mean, barring some circumstances, he would probably come on for Elmas and so Vergara stays on the right and Elmas is on the left.
Don't forget we
That's it.
have Giovanni too. We have or Giovanni, however he wants to say his name.
Yeah, the
Guys,
new guy.
Giovanni, and then Santos. What other Brazilians are we going to sign this Mercato? We've already signed 2 Brazilians in the Mercato. We have Neres and Juan Jesus. Are we becoming little Brazil here? Andrew will be happy about this, right?
Andrew,
He'll be
yeah.
very happy about that.
Could you imagine? And so, by the way, for context, Andrew is my brother-in-law. These guys, his uncle, Brazilian Sao Paulo fan. Every time there's a Brazilian linked with us, we talk about it. And he was very high on the possibility of us signing João Gomez from Wolves. That still could be a possibility. Again, we only have a few hours left, but the Mercato's still up. Guys, I mean, I'm very excited about the rest of the season. Paul, while we have you here, what do you think? Do you think Napoli should focus on making a comeback for the Scudetto, or do you think they should focus first on securing top 4 for next season?
I think what's more important is focusing on securing the top 4 for next season, and then we can focus on the big trophies because we've already had 2 of the same pretty big trophies for Italy in the past 3 years. So we've been a pretty successful team for the past 5 years. We won the Scudetto, we won the Coppa Italia in 2020, the Scudetto in 23, the Scudetto again in 25. I mean, we've had a pretty successful
Supercoppa just a month
Supercoppa just this year.
And
so we've had a pretty successful trophy. We've had a pretty successful trophy, almost half a decade.
Like a run, yeah,
a pretty nice run. So I think what we do is we focus on what's coming up almost. You know what I mean?
So you're saying focus more on the top 4 for now. If the Scudetto comes, now I'm going to ask this to both of you guys, and then we got to get out of here. Would you be happy? I'm going to go with you first, Rocco. Would you be happy with the top 4 in a Coppa Italia? Or do you think not winning a Scudetto would kind of be a letdown?
Not winning the Scudetto wouldn't be a letdown. I would honestly go, I would go focus on maybe even winning Copa and just try to get top 4 in the league, because that way we walk out of the season with 2 trophies. How much does that happen?
And Conte can say that at Napoli he won everything in Italy,
Yeah, and he can say he won 2 whole trophies despite the injury crisis.
No.
And it would look better for us, much better for us as a club, and especially if we win Coppa Italia and secure top 4, preferably maybe even top 3, but obviously top 4 is a priority.
I mean, top 2 would be great too, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, we're pretty, Milan play Tuesday. I forgot who they play against, but there's that's not out of the, that's not impossible. Top 2.
Yeah.
Paul, how do you feel? What do you feel? If we don't win the Scudetto, will you be upset?
I wouldn't be upset if we don't win the Scudetto. Kind of like what Rocco said. It would be cool if we win the Coppa Italia, because we would win all the trophies for Italy. When does that happen? Like Rocco said.
Right.
I think that would be really cool, but even finishing like 3 or 2 would still be really good, really nice for me. I'd still like that.
We lost Rocco.
Hold on, guys.
Rocco, you all right? Yeah, that's okay.
All good.
That's okay. All right. So I'll wrap it up by saying I want to win everything. I want
Yeah.
to win it. I want to be a domestic treble winner.
I want $1 million.
I want to win the Champions League next year.
Well, there you go.
So we can have all these ambitions, but Mr. Ambitious is Raffaele Rispo, aka my dad.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Optimist. Okay,
So-
Paulie, to your point, Coppa Italia is going to be a rough road. It's Como next in a one-off in the quarterfinal. If we win that, we get the winner of Inter, and I want to say it's Inter and Torino. Yes, because Torino beat Roma. So it's it's not an easy road. It's not an easy road at all.
So if I had to take a guess, I think the game's gonna be close. It's gonna be a very good game. I think we're gonna beat Cuomo and go into the semifinals, right? That's where we go if we beat them. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I think, hey, big upset. I think Torino's gonna beat Inter.
Ooh, that's
upset.
Ooh, Rocco, how do you feel about that?
I just think it's an upset.
Now, mind you, the semifinal is this is a quarterfinal, correct? Never mind. Torino, but it's in Milan. But Torino Torino already beat Roma in Rome. So that they beat Roma to get to Inter. If they can beat Inter, we're going to be playing our buddy Simeone again in the semifinal if we beat Como. So, that's a 2-leg affair too, by the way, the Torino game.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about what Paul said, Rocco, in the Coppa Italia?
I would say I think we got a better chance of this barbershop being struck by lightning, but they did beat Roma. So nothing's impossible, man. And
anything could happen, Rocco. And I do think there is a better chance of us having to play Torino than a lightning striking this building right now. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I was obviously just joking, but no, anything's possible. It would not obviously it would be much better if we play Torino, and at that point, if we play Torino, I feel like we could very easily make the finals. So, but even against Inter, we compete every time we play Inter. So
yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a rough time, but it doesn't have to be all dark clouds and thunder and lightning.
Sure.
I think we can have an upbeat and positive look on the rest of the season very just as easily as we can be like, oh, it's all over, forget about it. You know what I mean? I think we just got to keep our heads up, and I think the locker room and Conte needs to keep his head up. Conte needs to keep the fire and the passion. It's going to be hard without Di Lorenzo, but we've got the players to do it, and we've certainly got the coach to do it. We just got to keep spirits high.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for doing this and being with us here today. We are at Napoli Rant. I want to say thank you everybody for watching the first episode back on YouTube, and for listening to us wherever you can get your podcasts, Apple and Spotify and others. Please like, subscribe, follow, do all the stuff you need to do. We'll see you next time. Once again, Napoli play Genoa in Genoa Saturday the 7th at 12 p.m. Eastern, and then it's Coppa Italia. So we'll be back at some point to discuss all that stuff. Guys, thank you guys. You guys did a great job, and I can't wait for more of this. And as always, Forza Napoli.
Forza Napoli sempre.
Sempre.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao.
Ciao.